Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming this evening to Barton Community College's performance. We would ask that you take a minute and look over our information on concert etiquette in the back of the program. Please take a moment now and silence all cell phones, and please keep them dim so that they do not disturb other audience members around you. Please refrain from talking to your neighbor during the performance. We would like everyone to be able to hear the groups equally well across the hall. If you need to enter or leave during the performances, please attempt to do this during one of the breaks between groups or between numbers rather than in the middle. If you have a young one with you today, we ask that you keep them close to you so they don't disturb our other guests. And if they begin to get fussy, please take them out as quickly as possible so that any disturbance may be minimal. You are certainly encouraged to bring them back in just as soon as they have calmed down again. Thank you again for coming, and we hope you enjoy our performance today.
you're enjoying the event so far. My name is Danica Violet, and I'm trying to adjust this microphone very casually. It's not working. I am the coordinator for Barton Community College's Fine and Performing Arts Department, as well as the director of our dance program. Tonight, additionally, we are celebrating the holidays and our students' hard work from the semester. However, we are also celebrating the arts in our region that are rooted and tied to our college. I'm excited to say that we will be inducting 3 recipients into the 2025, like what year is it right now? It's going so fast. 2025 class of our Hall of Fame for the Fine and Performing Arts. Sadly, some of our members are not with us tonight, but we still will honor them for their achievements and the imprint that they have left on our arts programs and on so many students who have passed through our programs. Mark Freeman, our 3-dimensional art instructor, will present the first award to Bill Force, who is not here tonight.
I had a whole speech planned, but when I found out Bill wasn't going to be here, I threw it out. All joking aside, when I think back as a child, a lot of kids' superheroes are like Spider-Man. For me, it's always been teachers, and I was really fortunate to have Bill as my 3-dimensional art instructor when I was here. He taught art history and ceramics, and pun intended, he helped shape me into who I am today. As fate would have it, I actually have the position that he retired from. He was always so enthusiastic and passionate and just an amazing instructor, and his legacy is going to live on forever through all the students that he's taught over the years. So I'm really thrilled to be giving him this award, even if I have to drive him to his house myself, and thank you all for being here.
Our next recipient is Vern Freiberger, and the presenter will be Dr. Eric Foley.
Just a little taller than Danica. Yes, Vern Freiberger, one of the things that, as you can look in the program and see so much about Vern, is the fact that he was and is from Great Bend, now living in Ellenwood, has lived there for a number of years. But the fact that he graduated from Great Bend and was in one of the first 5 graduating classes here at Barton. So he is one of the first music students and one of the first sets of music students that went through the program here. He went on to Fort Hays and got his undergraduate and his master's degree there, and then came back to the area. He really didn't leave, which is quite unusual and great for his students. He taught at Ellenwood for 16 years, and did a wonderful job there, and then came over to Barton in 1995, and was here for 22 years. And the things that you see in the program there, some of the things I just want to kind of point out. Number one, that he was a Barton Distinguished Instructor 2 times in those 22 years. The fact that he was honored by and elected by KMEA and also KCDA as Region 5 President, and that he worked so long with those ensembles and those groups, and also those directors from across the Southwest region in so many different ways. And the fact that he did such a great job here that I'm still finding in my files parts of things that Vern did and that I still utilize in part of what I do. Vern is also someone that I will go to on occasion and say, hey, what about this? Or can you tell me a little bit more about this? Especially when I started just a number of years ago. And he was on that committee that kind of hired me at that point. And one of the first things he said was, this is a really nice job. I think you'll really enjoy it. and he was absolutely right. Vern has been someone who started the Central Kansas Community Choir. He initiated that group, and it's been a wonderful group, and I'm trying to live up to the legacy that Vern put before us. But also, I appreciate Vern because not only did he start that, but he's still singing in that group with me at this point and helping bring other people into that group. Vern has meant so much to so many students that came through the program as we were looking through some of those notes and nominations. Just wonderful things that they said about Vern and what he brought, not just to the program, but what he brought to the students in the way that he approached them and the way that he worked with them. So thank you, Vern, so much. It's my pleasure to provide this award to Vern Freiberg.
Well, I'm going to say a couple things. This might be my last time, ever. So, Eric said a lot of the things that I wanted to kind of say. So what I'd like to do is, one of the things about doing music and theater and arts in general is that it's a huge collaboration. And there's no one, I'm not standing here because of just me. There's so many people that helped me and helped make me successful and helped my students to be successful. And so honestly, I want to thank some of those people tonight. And I don't normally name names because you're always going to leave somebody out, but I'm going to name a few names tonight because they're very special to me, and they've been very special to the arts, particularly the choral program here at Barton. Certainly I want to thank my family who have spent a lot of nights at home while I've been here doing rehearsals with many, many musicals and concerts and all of the events that we do. I want to thank the administration and the trustees and the deans and the chair people, and maybe in particular, some people who have helped me through that have been Elaine Simmons and Ted Gardner, Lou Copeman, Dr. Abel, Brian Howe, and Danica Bialik. I want to thank the people who were here when I first came that got me sort of going in the right track, and that helped was Mike Compton. He and I came the same year. We were very green, and they picked on us a lot. Carol Erickson, Glenn Agant, and Steve Luke. The people that a choral program can't live without are the accompanists, and these people have just been solid gold for me throughout all these years. Carol Erickson, Jenny Alford, Marlene Brigier, Lori Underwood, and Steve Luth. I want to thank all of the instrumentalists in actually all of the groups here, particularly in the band, that have allowed me to work with them and direct them. It's such a privilege to direct groups that you really didn't have a whole lot to do with putting them together, but you get the enjoyment out of their success and what they do for us with concerts and musicals in particular. I want to thank what you see here every time, that all the things that you see but you don't notice, and that's the tech people. So I want to thank, when I came, Bob Loss, Jacob, thank you. I have to thank Leon Silva. You're going to hear more about him. I may talk about him a little bit more. I want to thank all of the community and individuals who've helped the program in one way or another. Well, that might just be giving a donation for music scholarships, paying a ticket to come to something, or just coming like tonight and filling a seat. What we do for you, and our reward is what you give us back, and we really appreciate it. I want to thank, there's no way I can name names here, but I want to thank all of the students that have gone through the program. You know, when I started here, we were in the beginnings of the computer age, honestly. When I first came here, we had green screen computers that were text only, and you know, that type of thing. I mean, we've come a long, long, long way. And what I do like now is things like Facebook, where I can sort of keep track of those students that have gone through the program and how they've done. I'm really pleased to see all of those students who, particularly who've been in Hilltop Singers. There's a lot of them that connected in Hilltop Singers, and there's a whole new generation of little Hilltop Singers out there now that we hope will come and join us here at Barton. I want to wish the best to Jamie and Eric and Alejandro and Aaliyah, our current faculty here. They're doing a fantastic job. It's difficult to teach at a community college in things like this because you really don't have any idea what you're going to have next year. You know, every year you're probably 60 to 80% new people. And what you do rely on, though, are a lot of community people who come in, and that's the steady force that you have in your performance groups. And we cannot thank those people enough. And finally, I just want to say it's really been a huge privilege and an honor for me to have this position. And I want to thank everybody for being here, and I hope you keep coming and keep supporting Barton Music. Thank you.
I will stand on my toes because everybody is taller than I am. Our last recipient is not here tonight, but it is a man who technically, he encompasses all of our performing arts program. And so tonight we are honoring Leon Soba. And to give this award will be Denise Williams, our communications teacher, who also is theater faculty. And to accept the award will be Leon's wife, Linda Soba.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As she said, my name is Denise Williams, and it is absolutely my honor to be here presenting this award for Leon Soba this evening. When learning I would be making this presentation, I reached out to several other people who knew him and had worked with him. Words often repeated in those conversations include mentor, intelligence, creativity, and even, more than once, genius. In the nominations he received, there were a plethora of platitudes, including this one. Leon was the glue that held everything together. Or this one. Leon has completely updated the Barton Theatre to a state-of-the-art technical facility. He researched and procured new lighting, new sound, new projection systems. He is the fountain that everyone relies on for anything to do with the theater. You see, Leon didn't just do theater. He supported all of the performing arts. And he did it with his work and his presence. In visiting with John Danabaum, our sound man back here, he told me that when he asks about things were done in the past, the reply is nearly always, "I don't know, Leon just did it." It has been clear this fall that his presence is missed by all of us in performing arts. In addition to his knowledge and his management skills, Leon was the consummate teacher and mentor. Jacob Disway, our lighting man back here, a longtime colleague of Leon's, spoke repeatedly about how many students Leon had influenced and taught over his time, and not just here in the theater, but in his entire teaching career. I dare say that number is in the hundreds. Leon was quick to support his kids, as he called them, when they were deserving of praise. He was also quick to take them to task, as a good teacher should do, when they needed it. But perhaps, to me, the most impressive thing about Leon was his natural curiosity and the way he inspired that in generations of students. He would be what I would call the ultimate STEM educator. He had the knowledge of the science, technology, engineering, and math, but he also had the creative instincts to use those tools in developing something better every time. And he taught his students those skills. Dan Williams, a former colleague, said, "I was impressed by Leon because of his deep desire to learn. He wanted to know more so he could share his newfound knowledge with his students. His desire to learn has always inspired me and his students, and we love him for it." While Mr. Soba could not be here with us this evening, we do have his beautiful wife, Linda, to accept on his behalf. Could we please welcome her to the stage?
On behalf of Leon, I just want to say thank you so much for this very special presentation. I know this really, really does mean a lot to me, so thank you again.
Now, Leon cannot be here tonight because he has been in the hospital for I'm not even sure how long, in the Ellenwood Hospital. However, one of our technicians, John, went to the hospital and recorded his speech for you tonight. And again, he was a technical genius and supported every concert we had since 2010.
Thank you to the Fine Performing Hall of Fame Committee for this honor. I've enjoyed my time working in the auditorium to support events, be they campus events or something from the community. I retired from my teaching job in Ellenwood. Part of my job was tech director for the auditorium. During that time, I began to present a musical each year. This year, we presented our 52nd consecutive musical. During that time, I worked with Bird Fiber for some of those years. between the school and doing also community theater, Broadway shows in the band shell. As I said, I retired in 2009. That fall, Vern called me and asked if I would do lighting for their spring musical. They were doing Beauty and the Beast. My 2 weeks turned into 15 years. We met on January 1, 2010 to go through the script. The tech director, music director, and the set designer. At the end of that meeting, the set designer asked me if I would help paint the set. What that really turned into was 2 students and I and Vern Brothers, 2 daughters, painted the set and all the set pieces for that show. Very often I brought my own students to campus to help us with shows. And that was true of that show already. I had a sophomore high school boy running the light board. And after we got the show all programmed, I said to him, "Where do you want me during the show?" He says, "Right here beside me, in case something screws up." We were wondering how effective our lighting would be. And then, you know, in Beauty and the Beast, the pedal has to drop. And we could pull the audience see that rose pedal drop from the back of the auditorium. When the pedal dropped, we were the audience. And we knew we got it done. As I said, the 2 weeks turned into 15 years. Big shows for both community Barton, for community theater, and traveling shows. Again, I want to thank the Fine Performing Arts Hall of Fame Committee for this honor.
Only in my darkest moments can I see the light. I think I'm prone to getting blinded when it's bright. Well, this December I'll remember. Want you to see it when I do. Ooh, God knows I do. Only in my darkest moments can I see the light. I think I'm prone to getting blinded when it's bright. Well, this December I'll remember. Want you to see it when I do. Ooh, God knows I do. the traffic is terrific. Oh, there's no place like home for the holiday. So fast and how far away you go. If you want to be happy in a million ways, for the holidays you can't beat home sweet home. For the holidays you can't beat home sweet home. Have a happy holiday. There's no place like have a happy holiday. Home sweet have a happy holiday. Happy Santa, bring my baby back to me. Santa, bring my baby back to me.
I don't need a lot of presents to make my Christmas bright. I just need my baby's arms wound around me tight. Oh, Santa, hear my plea. Santa, bring my baby back to me.
Santa, bring my baby back to me. The Christmas tree is ready. The candles all aglow. With my baby far away, the wood is mistletoe. Oh, Santa, hear my plea. Santa, bring my baby back to me.
The time is drawing near. The true won't feel like Christmas without my baby's here.
Don't fill my sock with candy. No bright and shiny toy. You wanna make me happy and fill my heart with joy. And Santa, hear my plea. Santa, bring my baby back to me. Santa, bring my baby back to me.
Please make she's changing hurry. Well, the time is drawing near. It sure won't seem like Christmas until my baby's here.
Don't fill my sock with candy. No bright and shiny toy. You wanna make me happy and fill my heart with joy. And Santa, hear my plea. Oh, Santa, Santa, bring my baby back to me. 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 Oh, Santa, bring my baby back to me. Santa, bring my baby back to me. Oh, Santa, bring my baby back to me. Oh, Santa, bring my baby back to me. Oh, Santa, hear my plea. Santa, bring my baby back to me. Santa, bring my baby back to me. Santa, bring my baby back to me. Oh, Santa, bring my baby back to me. Santa, bring my baby back to me. It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing, hallelujah, maybe I've been here before. I know this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew ya. I've seen your flag on the marble arch, but love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah.
Final set, I would like to say a few parting words. As arts instructors, our job is to impart that knowledge, to help our students find their potential and help them develop that craft and definitely develop the self-discipline that is vitally important to be in the arts or to even pursue the arts. And then our students, their job is they put in the work. They put in the hours. Literally, they put in the blood, sweat, and tears sometimes before they get to the stage. But hopefully they also put in a lot of smiles. In fact, I've seen it even tonight. Lots of smiles backstage and the memories that live with them. So I would like to thank all of our instructors in the Fine and Performing Arts and all of the instructors out here who teach too. Thank you for all you do. Thank you to every student who stepped on the stage tonight. Please give them an applause for all their wonderful They've done so well, and their teachers are proud of them. And then last, I want to thank all of you out here, because you're the ones who bring the life into the arts. You breathe that life in when you attend, and our students do this for you. And so thank you for supporting the arts. Thank you for your enjoyment of the arts. And thank you for celebrating with us tonight. So thank you. I will clap for you. Now, we have a few last performances in our season coming up, so I'll quickly run down those. How many of these? So, on December 8th, which is Monday, coming up Monday at 7:30 p.m., we have the Central Kansas Community Choir's Holiday Concert at the First United Methodist Church. And this is the choir that Vern Freiberger started and that Dr. Foley now directs. This is a free holiday performance, but there will be a Goodwill offering there available on December 12th. If you would like to come and let me teach you some dance, we do have on that Friday, a week from tomorrow at 6:30 p.m., a Dancing with the Cougars class, and I will be teaching tango and two-step. So it's an unlikely pair, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It is a fundraiser for the dancers you saw on stage tonight. They're going to New York, and they need money to help them. And so it is $15 a person and $20 a couple for the 2-hour class. And it is in the dance studio here on campus. And then our last performance to close the season is on December 14th, which is a Sunday at 2 p.m. We have guest artists, the Metropolitan Ballet of Wichita will be performing the Nutcracker here in this auditorium. They're on tour, and we're lucky that they are coming. They are both Kansas homegrown company that's also top-notch. And they will be here for $10 a person, and I hope you come and enjoy that magical performance. Thank you again. I wish you very joyful holidays and also to enjoy life. The next act is our concert choir who will leave you with some moving songs. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, sing a song for a happy
thank you so much for coming this evening. That concludes our performance tonight. We hope that you'll be able to join us for some of those upcoming events that are happening here very soon. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful holiday season.